Hi everyone, so today we're just going to be messing around again in Photoshop and trying to get familiar with some of the tools of this amazing program. Okay, let's just make a new composition. How big do I want it to be? Well, I'm just messing around, so it's not very important. But I know already I want to make some kind of poster, so I want to make it wide but not too high. I'm going to make it a kind of landscape. Let's say 400. That's alright. This other stuff here, we'll figure that out later. Okay, so here I've got my landscape work area. This is going to be a poster, and I've got all these grid lines again. I've already figured out I can get rid of them by clicking Control H. H for hat. Control H on my keyboard, and if I toggle that, there you go, Control H. Alright, I'm going to make a poster about Saigon. So this is where I live at the moment, so for me it's a nice topic. So I'm going straight to the text tool here. I'm going to click on my canvas. You can see a new layer appears, and let's just type in Saigon, and by clicking the selection tool, I can then use Control T on my keyboard, and I can make that as big as I want it to be. We'll think about the position of it in a minute. Now I don't want it to be purple, and I'd like to add a few effects to it, so let's go to the effects button. I think someone said you can double click here and it will also open the effects area. There you go. So this is the layer style window. Let's just do that from here and see if the same layer style windows up. Yes, it does. And I've just clicked on pattern overlay. Well, actually, I might have a look at this. What is pattern overlay? Okay, I like that. That's cool. What is this stuff here? Ooh, okay. Blend mode. No idea what all this is about. Oh, that's quite nice. Oh, okay. Let's do a drop shadow with that. Oh, I like that. Let's just click into drop shadow and see if we can just make that a bit stronger. Oh yes, that's nice. I like it already. Look at that. Saigon! Okay. I'm not even sure if I want to play with anything else. There's loads of stuff to play with. I could, for example, do a stroke, and let's change the color to that color, and let's do a position inside and just change the size of it. Do I want that? Yeah, I might go with that. That's kind of cool. There you go. Now what I'd really love to do is take that S and just kind of make it a little bit different, because it's the capital letter. But if I go to a selection tool, let's just use the rectangular selection tool, and I just try and select the S and break it out of there. Layer via copy. Oh, it tells me that I cannot make a new layer because the pixels in a type layer, that means a text layer, cannot be modified. Oh no! Without first rasterizing. There's a magical little word. The pixels in a type layer cannot be modified without first rasterizing the layer. Well, that's great. Thanks for telling me. How about helping me? It just tells me. It doesn't. Thanks. Rasterizing. Okay. Oh dear. Control T. How do I rasterize a layer? Well, there's layer. Can anybody see rasterize? Rasterize. Rasterize! Rasterize type! I found it! Let's do it. Boom! Tiddly boom! Did anything happen? Let's do a Control Z. Let's do that again. Layer. Rasterize, type. Oh, do you see what's happening up here? If I do Control Z, that's the type layer. But when I rasterize it, we're going to lose that big T that tells me it's a type layer. Oh, look at that. Now it just looks like a regular picture layer. So let's see if I can now select that S and make, I'm going to cut or copy. Let's cut it. Let's cut it away from the rest of Saigon. Did it work? Yes, it did. I've now separated the S from Saigon, and I'm just going to mess with the S. There we go. Saigon. Just going to chuck that up there. Alright, I like it. So now I've got 2 layers instead of 1. Okay, and I did that by rasterizing. Now, hopefully, we know how to make a cool stroke. So I'm going to do that now. On a new layer, let's not do it on any of these layers that we've used already. New layer, and let's mess around with the stroke. Before I play with the pen tool, I'm going to set up the brush. So I'm just going to click on my brush. No, that's a bit thick. Control Z, Window, Brushes, shortcut is F5. Let's get used to using shortcuts. F5. Okay. My brush, what does it look like? Okay, that's too big. How do I change the diameter of the brush? Let's make, can I do it that way? The brush tip shape. That's better. Okay, maybe a little bit bigger. Cool, that's fine. Okay, so that's the brush that I want to use. I think the color that I want to use is, let's change it to just a little change to that color there. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's what I want. Perfect. Now, instead of doing this, which is going to give me a really wobbly line, look at the wobbles in that line. If we zoom in, that is not a smooth line at all. And that's because I'm using a mouse to create the line. What I want to do is use the pen tool, and I'm just going to go boom, boom, boom. That's my line. Hopefully it's going to be nice and smooth. I'm now going to right click on that line. I've set up the pen already, so I'm going to go stroke path. Sorry, the pen, I mean the brush. I've set that up already. You watched me doing it, so let's use the brush. I could use the pencil, I could use something else, but I've already set up the brush, the paint brush, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to click this simulate pressure box. Boom. Now, to get rid of this line here, I'm going to use the extras trick. Do you remember? Control H. Control H, Control H, and it disappears. Let's just zoom in on this. So, this is on my layer 2. Let's just rename it if we can. Funky line. Okay, so that's funky line. And just make sure, there it is. Okay, it's much smoother than before, so that's a success. I like the way that it fades at the beginning and the end. It fades in. That's cool. I want it to look like it's going behind the S here. So how can we do that? Let's put it behind. Actually, let's just reorder the layer. Can we do that? Yes, that's what we want. That's fine. And I tell you what, let's mess around with some of these layer styles. Let's do a bevel. Oh yes. Let's click into bevel and we'll just make it a bit thicker. Oh yes. That's good. Just soften it. There we go. That's nice. And anything else we can do? We could do an outer glow. I don't know. Let's just change the color of our outer glow. And we could mess around with the opacity. Size, just to look at the way that's bringing out the A there and the G where it crosses. That's quite nice. really spread that out. Wow, we could do that, couldn't we? Oh, that's nice. That's looking good. And can we Control T it? I think we can. Yes, we can. So I'm just gonna Control T it. In fact, Saigon is full of rivers, isn't it? So maybe rather than having a purple line, that should be a blue line. That funky line, can we do a color overlay? Yes, we can. Brilliant. I'm gonna make it blue. Have it kind of representing a river. Okay. Now there's loads of things to mess around with in Photoshop, and one of those things is our filter menu. So on my funky line layer, let's just mess around with the with some of this stuff. What am I going to do? Blur. Okay, let's try blur. Let's try motion blur. Oh. Ooh. Oh. 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 That's kind of cool. Yep, I kind of like it. I've got a bit of river blur on that. It looks reasonable. Let's go back to filter. There's just so much. What is this? Render. Lighting effects. What is that all about? Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? Whoa. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not going to panic. I'm going to enjoy it. Did that do anything? It didn't seem to do anything. So I'm just going to Control Z that and forget about that. And let's go back to filter. Let's try some of this stuff. What is this all about? It's just taking a bit of time here. Is it going to come up? Yep. Wow, what is all this stuff? That blur that I've put onto it isn't going to let me see much, is it? I could have a look at some of this, but... Ooh. Yeah. Not very impressed at the moment with some of this stuff. Nothing for this particular composition that I like, so I'm going to cancel that. Just leave it like that. Let's just zoom out. Now I'm going to go back to my Saigon layer. There it is. Saigon. I'm going to just use a quick selection tool to select that. I'm going to cut it out. So now it's on its own layer. There it is. Control T. Let's just make that a bit bigger. Saigon. Saigon. In fact, let's just take that out completely. How do I delete that? Control Z. Where is it gone? There it is, layer 2. I'm just going to put that in the trash can. I'm going to replace that with a shape. So if you come down to the rectangle tool and just click and drag, you've got custom shape tool. Let's go into the shape tool. There's loads of shapes to play with. If you can't find all of them, just click on this little black arrow and choose all, and you'll get all these shapes. I'm just going to choose a heart and make sure it's a filled shape and do that. Now it's got some effects on it, so let's just go into our layer style. Stroke, no. Color overlay, yes, but not that color. I want that color. Okay, let's do a stroke then, but we're not going to have blue, we're going to have a darker purple. Try and find a dark purple, and not quite that thick. There you go. In fact, let's try that pattern overlay. Let's not do color overlay. Oh, maybe we have to. Oh dear, I'll come back to that later. Okay, so at the moment this is what my poster about Saigon is looking like. I'm trying to practice my skills of drawing lines, playing with text, and using the magical FX button here. So have a go. Thanks for watching.